Thank you for joining me on my second episode of A Walk in the Park. And I have two things I want to talk about to you today. One, I want to offer you a gift. And so we'll have that. And then I want to talk to you a little bit more about where I see us going in this next year and coming years. Because I think we're due for a lot of change. Obviously, if you're in America, you've noticed that the government is shut down, or at least parts of it. Not the parts that necessarily should be shut down, but we have issues with this. And I think there are ways that we can avoid happening this again. We've just got to open our minds a little bit and recognize what we really have at our disposal. I got in a conversation a couple weeks ago with a guy who is a staunch defender of capitalism as it is, even though that word means a lot of things. And he said that, one of the driving factors of it, and the reason we need to adhere to it, is because humans are selfish. We're inherently selfish. And I get that. I mean, I am one of the most selfish people you'll ever meet, but it's not all that I am. I'm also kind and compassionate, benevolent, caring, creative, and there's a lot of other things that I am as well. So I recognize that why we feel so fearful about moving into something new or different. Not back to communism, folks. Forward to something new, something different, something that hasn't been even fully created yet, because we are in the midst of creating it. And we need to recognize that people are selfish. But we also need to recognize that we live in an abundant world. And we have a lot to share, and a lot to give, and a lot to grow from. So, with that, I was talking to somebody else the other night, and talking to her a little bit about my idea of ABC squared economics and moving into this new way of being. And her challenge was, as I've heard before, that there's a fundamental flaw in humans that needs to be fixed. Now, this argument goes back thousands of years, back to when we first started calling human beings natural-born sinners. And if that's all we see in those people and in people, then that's all we're going to get. And we're going to be stuck with having some of these sinners making terrible decisions for us and absorbing most of all the work that we do and shutting things down when they don't get their way. So I don't think we need to be dependent on people that we say are selfish, but we need to recognize how to empower people to utilize some of the other things that they have, that we have. So what I want to give you, this gift that I have for you for this holiday season, be it Christmas or solstice or New Year's or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah. Well, we passed Hanukkah, but get my point. Whatever it is, I want to offer you a gift because I think that it can help in moving us forward to get to where we got to be. This is a meditation that I wrote a few years ago, and my friend Paul came up with the music. And it's an 11-minute and 11-second chakra alignment meditation. Now, you may not believe in chakras, and that's all well and good. You don't need to believe in anything if you don't want to. However, I think it's helpful still to focus our energies and think about what's really going on inside us, or what might be going on inside us, or at least set an intention for what we want to see happening inside us and in the world around us. So this chakra meditation will guide you through the various chakras, grounding you to the earth, through your root chakra, recognizing your creativity, through your sacral chakra, recognizing your individuality, recognizing your love for yourself and others, your opportunity to speak and to listen, the vision that you have, and how you're connected to all that is. So I want to give this to you for free. It's on my website now, stevemc.xyz. You can go listen to it on the website. You can download it. You can share it with friends. But it only takes 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Not even that. It's actually 11 minutes, 10 seconds. But still, you get my point. Go listen to it, and I hope it helps you and empowers you through any day you want to listen to it, any time you want to listen to it. You're more than welcome to share it with your friends, because I think we need to help one another get empowered. And that's largely what my life is about, regardless of how ridiculously selfish I am and how self-centered I can be and how ascetic I can be and depressed and apathetic I can be. I still have something in me that I can share, that I can give, and that can contribute to this greater whole of life that we have. And so this is my gift to you for this year. It won't be the last thing, but it's a good start. Because I think if we can start to align ourselves and recognize within each other how we're similar and how we have the same vision and the same desires for so many things in our lives, and empower each other to be able to make the changes that we need to make, I think we're going to be a lot better off. And although I'm looking at ABC squared economics to be able to have the opportunity to channel any financial energy that comes my way, economic energy, it's just light and information, as I've said before. If we can channel that into the artistry of our lives, into our businesses so that we can flourish, into our citizenry so we can make sure that everything is taken care of in the world around us and things don't get shut down anymore because of nincompoops with big egos. And then we can also support, empower our community so that we never ever have to see another child starve. We never ever have to see anyone go homeless, a veteran or anybody else. And we never even have to worry about building any walls unless we're going to put a roof on top and put people inside it to protect them and create a better life. And I think there's more than enough abundance in the world for us to be able to do that. But we've got to start with ourselves. We've got to align ourselves, and we've got to challenge one another to see beyond our own selfishness. Recognize we have it. We're all going to be selfish, but we're also more than that. We're also a community. Just like with our little finite economic systems that we have, capital is a real thing. We really have it. And we all have a lot of capital, either physical, property, talents, skills, time, passion. These are all measures of capital. Yet we're also a community. We're also a society. And so while we don't need to fully embrace communism, we got to be a community. We don't need to embrace socialism, but we got to recognize we are a society. And we don't need to embrace capitalism, but we got to recognize that we have capital. And so for everyone out there, I want you to be able to be empowered and recognize your capital and what you have to offer the world and what the world has to offer you. So this is, I think, where we're going to be going. And I'll be talking a lot more about ABC squared economics as days go by. But my point for today is that beyond just the money that we may be able to move around, we have so much within us. We have a heart, we have a mind, we have a body, we have a spirit. And the more we can recognize those things in others and in ourselves and strengthen them and find emotional intelligence to be able to be healthy emotionally and not be so fearful and not be so angry with one another. If we can find the right information, because we have such a surplus of information right now at the tail end of the information revolution, and as long as we recognize and find the right information to help us move forward as we should, as long as we start caring for the earth and caring for our bodies and finding that kind of health as well, and as long as we start looking at our spiritual health and recognizing that the same spirit, just like the water that flows through everything, flows through all of us, and if we can find that health, then I think we're going to have a much better chance. Because anytime I talk about what I want to see happening, which is full-on revolution, not violent revolution, but taking back our power or gaining it in the first place, we might be able to actually have an actual democratic society, which we don't have right now. We have a democratic decision every couple of years, but as we've seen, that doesn't always work out very well. And I think if we can focus on one another's health and lift each other up and empower each other, I think we'll have a long way to go. So please go to stevemc.xyz, listen to the meditation that I left there for you. You may download it, share it with your friends, share it on social media, whatever you'd like to do. That's my gift, and thank you, world, for supporting me and allowing me to live in you and all that good stuff. So have a wonderful day. I hope the rest of your holidays are going to turn out perfectly and wonderfully and bring you joy and happiness and peace and joy, because it's all your birthright. It's what you're here for. So enjoy. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.